Celebration. Celebration, celebration. Celebration, it's a special versus. It's a special versus of goat versus fish. It's a special versus of goat versus fish. It's a special versus of goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. It's goat versus fish. And it is what it is. Goat versus fish, the mighty goat fish. Goat versus fish is a goat and a fish. And the goat and fish versus. Goat versus fish brings the verses to you. We promise the verses we tell you are true. What's goat versus fish? You haven't a clue. But it is something to do. Something to do, and it comes from within you. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for goat. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish, celebration for fish. Goat are always versus the fish. The fish are always versus the goat. And it was written and it was wrote that goat versus fish and fish versus goat. If that doesn't make any sense, just please, please don't sit on the fence. No, 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 don't sit on the fence. Some say goat versus fish is a sham. Some say goat versus fish is a scam. Some say goat versus fish is just spam. But I am what I am. It's not dolphin versus lamb. It's goat versus fish, and it's live on the screen. What does that even mean? Some say goat versus fish is something we crave. Some say goat versus fish misbehaves. Some say goat versus fish is a slave. Well, it's just a close shave. It's just a close shave. And it's goat versus fish for as long as you wish, with a special surprise versus. Goat versus fish, goat versus fish. Goat versus fish got a shave. Goat versus fish got a shave. Have a look at goat versus fish. Have a look at this. Have a look at this. Have a look at the shave of Goat vs. Fish. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Goat vs. Fish went to the barber. Goat vs. Fish went to the barber, and they took care of Goat vs. Fish, and they took care of Goat vs. Fish. And welcome to Epic Yoda 7, who follows Goat vs. Fish. And as Epic Yoda would say, are you goat or are you fish?
Goat or fish you are. Goat or fish are you.
Are you goat or are you fish, Epic Yoda? Are you goat or are you fish? And so Goat vs. Fish went to the barber. Goat vs. Fish went to the barber. And hello, Steel Stephanie Goat. Welcome back to Goat vs. Fish. So Goat vs. Fish went to the barber. And Goat vs. Fish said, give us the typical verses. And they said, oh, so you mean Goat vs. Fish? And we said, yes, give us the usual Goat vs. Fish. 8-bit versus Feeling Fishy Today, celebration for fish. And Goat vs. Fish said, Mr. Quacksard, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Welcome to the congregation, Steel Stephanie. It is very pleasant to have you. And Goat vs. Fish said to the barber, Goat vs. Fish said to the barber, Goat vs. Fish said, can you shave a few letters in my head? Can you shave a few letters in my head? Can you shave a few letters in my head? A few letters in my head. And the barber said to Goat vs. Fish, the barber said to Goat vs. Fish, you want me to shave a few letters in your head? Letters in your head, to shave a few letters in your head. I can't do that, I can't do that, Goat vs. Fish. That's just not one of my provided services. It might come out bad, yes, it might come out wrong. Let's just cut your hair and make it slightly less long. But there was a member of the congregation named I Can Fix Amber Heard, who during the 61st morning motivation, the Goat vs. Fish morning motivational every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yes, you heard Goat vs. Fish. For those of you who are just tuning in new to this evening stream of Goat vs. Fish, Goat vs. Fish simultaneously streams on YouTube and on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. to, well, we promise 10. It usually goes till 10:30 or more, but 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Goat vs. Fish, live on YouTube and Twitch. Since the beginning of the new verses, there have been 61 episodes, and tomorrow we have a special guest. We have Michelle Malizaki for nap time returning to Goat vs. Fish. Looking elegant, said Lucid Nap. Says, looking elegant, says Lucid Nap. You are also elegant to Goat vs. Fish. And so here you are, and so here you are. And so Goat vs. Fish thought, well, we made a promise. Goat vs. Fish made a promise to shave, or to have shaved, A and H, into the head of Goat vs. Fish. And so Goat vs. Fish thought, well, we have to honor the verses, so why don't we go live for special verses, and we'll just have to shave it into our own head. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do instead. That's what we're going to do instead. And celebration for Goat, Big Rig. Celebration for Goat, celebration for Goat. So here's the head of Goat vs. Fish. Here's the head of Goat vs. Fish. Let's get a look at this. Let's get a look at this head of Goat vs. Fish. Oh, wow. Oh, yes, this is about as fresh. This is about as fresh as it gets. This is about as fresh as it gets. Let's get some head. Let's get some head. Let's get some head. And so Goat vs. Fish thought, well, I can fix Amber Heard. We have to get A-H in our head, A-H in our head. Well, Goat vs. Fish, it is a promise of Goat vs. Fish. AH, and we realize that if we reverse the verses, well, we might be getting ahead of Goat versus Fish. We might be getting ahead of Goat versus Fish. So we're just going to have to do the verses ourselves. We're just going to have to do the verses ourselves, and we implore you to join Goat versus Fish, for this verses of getting ahead, Let's duplication this verses. Here we are. The ever slightly shrinking camera of Goat versus Fish. The ever slightly shrinking camera of Goat versus Fish. We just need a little more. We just need a little more headroom. We just want a little more headroom in this verses. A little more headroom in this verses. So here we have Goat versus Fish. And here we have Goat versus Fish. And here we have Goat versus Fish. And here we have Goat versus Fish. Let's copy this verses. And Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish. Hello, Goat and Fish. Hello, Goat and Fish. We can paste this verses. We can paste this verses here. So you can all still be wandering about. Behold the congregation. Behold the congregation. And someone was asking Goat versus Fish how to change your own avatars, and we believe you do exclamation extend SIN extension. Goat versus Fish extension. Just click on exclamation extension and then follow the prompts and log in in the verses, and we believe that you can change your avatar to many of the fine fish. There are only a few goat, a couple of fence sitters snuck in there, but we will be working on making some custom verses. We'll be working on making some custom verses just for all of you. Just for all of you. We are working on making some custom verses just for all of you, because that's what we like to do. That's what we like to do on Goat versus Fish. And so, yes, look at everyone. Look at everyone here in the congregation. We have Lysergic Freak Fish, Weed Pipe, Steel Stephanie, Big Rake 250, Stay Lifted Productions, Mr. Quacksart, 8-Bit Verse, Lord Saturn, Epic Yoda. Epic Yoda. You say hello, GVF. It's almost as if you know Goat versus Fish. Epic Yoda, from whence do you know Goat versus Fish? I Can Fix Amber Heard says the second verses for the day. Well, you have heard now. I Can Fix Amber Heard. It's time for Goat versus Fish. If you want to do the verses, you have to do them yourself. You have to do them yourself sometimes. I hope you can understand I can't donate for a while, as everything is going to a good verses right now. Well, there is no good or evil, only Goat and Fish, but Goat versus Fish is here to empower you. Goat versus Fish is here to empower you. So we tell unto you, take care of yourselves. And in taking care of yourselves, you are taking care of Goat versus Fish. And when you can spare verses to the congregation, it is with much appreciation. And with much appreciation, let us thank our glorious patrons of Goat versus Fish. Our glorious patrons of Goat versus Fish. Our glorious patrons of Goat versus Fish: Ben Birdperson, The Quaxinator, Jimmy Wrench, Mamajo, Vramajo, Standard Average, Tugger Rugger, Hogrim, Eldergrown, Uber Kitten, Padistador, Eventually Gold, Prism Bloom, Lord Saturn, Psychic Buckeye 12, Drew John, Karmic, Brew Lawrence, Atro, Sourdough, Watt 9807, That One Bolt Guy, Napoleon Doom, and I Can Fix Amber Heard. If you are considering supporting Goat versus Fish, join the Patreon of Goat versus Fish. It's a great way to bypass the fences of Fence Bezos in order to give Goat versus Fish your hard-earned versus American dollar directly, so none of those fence sitters take their cut. They've gotten enough. They've gotten enough from Goat versus Fish. They've gotten enough from Goat versus Fish. Appreciation to the congregation. Patreon.com/Goat versus Fish. Oh, hey, look. That looks like Goat versus Fish getting ready for a shave. Goat versus Fish will also remind you, very briefly, that we do have now a new store of Goat versus Fish. For those of you who have not recently tuned into Goat versus Fish, please know we have a new store of Goat versus Fish. We have a new store of Goat versus Fish, and it has shirts, and it has towels, and they will be shipped to you. They will be automatically shipped to you. So if you are considering Getting some fine merch. Consider these shirts of Goat vs. Fish, these towels of Goat vs. Fish, this double-sided mug of Goat vs. Fish, the unification shirt of Goat vs. Fish. 25 American dollars for a shirt. Why, that's a steal, Goat vs. Fish. In this hashtag economy, yes. Who knows, prices could go up at any versus. That is not an idle threat by Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish controls the straight. We can price it however we want. A beanie of Goat vs. Fish, socks of Goat vs. Fish, and we'll be adding more verses. We will be adding more verses. Consider getting some merch from the shop of Goat vs. Fish, from the shop of Goat vs. Fish. And there are even ways. There's also some way where you can buy a merch for the congregation, and then it becomes a contest, and it's a whole celebration, It's a whole mighty versus. Dragon Balls 325, are you that fence sitter that works for Goat vs. Fish? I am Goat vs. Fish. This is Goat vs. Fish. This is Goat vs. Fish. How could you mistake Goat vs. Fish for any other verses? How could you mistake Goat vs. Fish for any other verses? Just look at Goat vs. Fish. Look into the eye of Goat vs. Fish. This is Goat vs. Fish. The crown is but a trifle. Some perceive Goat vs. Fish with the crown. But we assure you, the crown is but a trifle to Goat vs. Fish. The crown is but a trifle to Goat vs. Fish. Some think, oh, you're not Goat vs. Fish without your crown. You can't be Goat vs. Fish without a crown. Well, what if someone were to just suddenly abscond and take the crown of Goat vs. Fish? Would that break Goat vs. Fish? Would that destroy Goat vs. Fish? Would it destroy you? Would it destroy you? No, Goat vs. Fish is far more than these things. Goat vs. Fish comes from within. Goat vs. Fish comes from within. Both when it ends and both when it begins, Goat vs. Fish comes from within. So no appearance without the crown of Goat vs. Fish changes a single verses about Goat vs. Fish. It is always Goat vs. Fish. I can fix Amber Heard's wounded heart. Wounded heart can attest to this. Sell the glove you're wearing unwashed for 200 versus American dollars. I can fix Amber Heard. Do you want to buy this glove unwashed for 200 versus American dollars? It could be yours now. It could be yours now. Buy this unwashed glove for 200 versus American dollars. Right now, I can fix Amber Heard. It's yours for 200 versus American dollars. However, you are the only one who can purchase it, and this deal is not available to anyone else. It is entirely up to you. Lol, I'll consider Goat vs. Fish. What? What does Goat vs. Fish have to hide from you? Shipping included. Shipping included. Buy the unwashed glove of Goat vs. Fish. You have 2 minutes to comply. You have 2 minutes to comply. Starting now. Starting now, you have 2 minutes to comply. Buy the unwashed glove of Goat vs. Fish. Shipping included. Shipping included. 200 versus American dollars. That price was set. That price was set. That price was set. That price was set by none other than I Can Fix Amber Heard. Buy the unwashed glove of Goat vs. Fish. It could be yours. It could be yours. It could be yours. It's the unwashed glove that you've always dreamed of. It's the unwashed glove you've always dreamed of. Enjoy your own incredibly gross trophy of Goat vs. Fish. Yes, it could be yours. Yes, it could be yours. The head shaving will commence soon, but for now, we have a special steal, a special deal for the next 1 minute and 20 seconds. I Can Fix out. You meant for your store. Well, we meant right now. This is the offer of Goat vs. Fish. This is the offer of Goat vs. Fish. Buy the unwashed glove of Goat vs. Fish mailed directly to you for 200 versus American dollars. Oh, I meant this. Oh, I meant that. Well, I meant that you have 1 minute to buy the unwashed glove of Goat vs. Fish. You have 1 minute to buy the unwashed glove of Goat vs. Fish for 200 versus American dollars. You get what you get. You get what you get. You get this. You get this. You can ask all the questions you're like, but tick-tock, tick-tock, get off that fence. Your time is a-wasting. Your time is a-wasting. Ask whatever questions you wish, but if you wish to purchase this, you have 40 seconds left. You have 40 seconds left to do it. Sugar Skulls is Goat. Celebration for Goat. Celebration for Goat. Can we buy the hair sheddings, or will you be donating them? That is an interesting question. That is an interesting question, but we suspect that there might not be much left. There might not be much left. I've seen the glove IRL. It's great. It's a great versus. Dragon Ball says 30. Sorry, 200. 200. We have 200 from I Can Fix Amber Heard. It's up to you. It's up to you what you do. 17, 16, 15. 15 seconds left on Goat vs. Fish. 12 seconds left on Goat vs. Fish. 11 seconds on Goat vs. Fish. None of your questions will be answered. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hesitation. Hesitation on the fence sitter. Hesitation on the fence sitter. Hesitation on the fence sitter. Hesitation by the fence sitter cost them the verses. They could have had an unwashed glove of Goat versus Fish, but their hesitation has cost them the entire verses. Their hesitation cost them the verses. That's what happens. That's what happens. Well, you must be preparation. You must be prepared to expect. You must be prepared to expect the verses. You must be prepared to expect the verses of Goat versus Fish. Expect unexpected verses. We gave you 2 whole minutes. We gave you 2 whole minutes. We gave you 2 whole minutes. You gave you 2 whole minutes, and what did you do? You squandered them. You squandered them on defenseless questions. You squandered them on defenseless questions. What else do you expect from Fence? Not much. Not much. We hope that they will come to their senses and that they will choose Goat or Fish. And yet, it has been very well known that often they don't. And this is very sad to Goat versus Fish. This is very sad to Goat versus Fish. This is very sad to Goat versus Fish. It's Mouse Rat says, Fish, celebration for Fish. Celebration for Fish. Well, you may have been caught off guard, but it's your loss. It's your $200 versus American dollar loss. It's your $200 versus American dollar loss. Now, if you want to buy the glove of Goat versus Fish, shipping is no longer included. Now you'll have to pay $210 to get the unwashed glove of Goat versus Fish because you hesitationed. Now you have to pay your own shipping costs. Oh, the fence sitter. Oh, the fence sitter. Foolish, foolish fence sitter. Foolish, foolish fence sitter. You thought you could get away without paying the shipping cost, but your hesitation has cost you dearly. Now it will cost you $210 versus American dollars. Now it will cost you $210 versus American dollars to get Goat versus Fish, to get the unwashed glove of Goat versus Fish. And every versus you hesitation is probably going to cost you a little bit more. The price of unwashed gloves of Goat versus Fish is just going up and up and up and up. However, if there is someone out there, if there is someone else out there who wants to buy the unwashed glove of Goat versus Fish, we will now be accepting bids. We will now be accepting bids. However, I Can Fix Amber Heard is only allowed to purchase the glove for $210. But if anyone else wants to bid on the glove, you may start your bidding now. However, the price for I Can Fix Amber Heard is fixed at $210. I have to wake up 3 hours early so I can cry all my tears about the tragedy of the fence sitter before I do my makeup. Oh, we know. We know it's a sad versus. It's very sad. Goat versus Fish is so sad that we're going to take a picture. It's so sad we're going to take a picture of your chat. It's so sad we're going to take a picture of your chat and we're going to put it in the story of Goat versus Fish. That's how sad it is. It's a very real feeling. It's a very, very real feeling. I'm hooked on a feeling. I'm high on believing that you'll choose Goat or Fish. When I told you you were Fish or Goat, let me hold you. Are you Goat or Fish? I'm asking a question. It's no misdirection. Are you a goat or fish? I'm hooked on a verses. Hooked on a verses. And Goat versus Fish has posted now to the story of Goat versus Fish this story of Goat versus Fish that has Lucid Nap and a official Steel Stephanie quote right there in the verses of Goat versus Fish. Forget about it. Forget about it. Welcome to Goat versus Fish. Forget about it, Goat. Celebration for Goat. Celebration for Goat. And welcome all you lurking YouTubers. You're lurking YouTubers on Goat versus Fish. Okay, Goat versus Fish has to see Afro Man tonight. So it's time for Goat versus Fish to start shaving letters into our head. So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's shave some letters into our head. And maybe we can find some musications, some fun musications to play while we do this versus. Maybe we can find something to do. Something to do. something to do. We can only hope. We can only hope. We can only hope we can find something to do for Goat versus Fish. Awesomeness. Musication for Goat versus Fish. What would make barbershop versus for Goat versus Fish? Well, why don't we just go into the Spotify of Goat versus Fish, and we'll do this, and we'll do this. We'll do this, yes. Oh, Goat versus Fish. Oh, back on Goat versus Fish. We'll play this versus, the classic versus of Goat versus Fish. We'll have it playing faintly in the background of Goat versus Fish. Faintly playing in the background of Goat versus Fish. So now Goat versus Fish has to shave AH into the head of Goat versus Fish. We have to shave AH into the head of Goat versus Fish, and we have to do it ourselves. 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 So let's do it. Let's make this bold attempt. Let's make this bold attempt. Some say that Goat versus Fish is a student of studio art. Oh, hey! Birdbrain RCH. Goat versus Fish was paid 100 versus American dollars to shave some letters into our head, as we just got a haircut from the barber of Goat versus Fish. But the barber refused. The barber refused, so Goat versus Fish... Oh, we think Birdbrain is singing on this song. So Goat versus Fish has to do it, so Goat versus Fish has to do it. But before we do... A brief message from someone very special to Goat versus Fish. A brief verses from someone very special to Goat versus Fish. Why, it's Birdbrain illustration time. It's drawing corner with Birdbrain.
Oh, my turn. Oh, goodness. Oh, no. Okay, I know what I'm going to do here. Okay.
The word is celebrate.
Oh, wait.
We have fish placement. We have achieved fish placement. And as soon as the hands go up, everyone knows it's a celebration. Everyone knows it's a celebration.
You guys like my Goat versus Fish?
It's a humorous thing. It's a humorous thing. Goat versus Fish is a humorous thing, here to bring you delights and joys, even when you didn't know, even when you didn't know that you needed Fish versus Goat. It is very pleasing to Goat versus Fish that even the entire conception of celebration is now in association with Goat versus Fish. Celebration? You think Goat versus Fish. That's a beautiful versus. Celebration of Goat versus Fish. Birdbrain is obviously a trained artist. And Goat versus Fish must be a trained artist too, because we're about to shave letters into our head. So there is no mirror for Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish is entirely using the camera that is broadcasting this stream, which we admit is a little difficult for Goat vs. Fish. We admit it's a little difficult for Goat vs. Fish. We admit it's a little difficult for Goat vs. Fish. So if we have Goat vs. Fish like this, if we have G for goat, so we can A, and we can H. We can A and we can H. We could put A and we could put H for Amber Heard. However, the promise of Goat vs. Fish was simply to shave the initials AH into the head of Goat vs. Fish. And Goat vs. Fish ponders, why do AH to be read as AH when we could do HA to be read as ha 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 ha. The fence is foiled again. The fence is foiled again. Using the initials of I Can Fix Amber Heard, Goat vs. Fish laughs at the fence sitter. Goat vs. Fish laughs at the fence sitter. Ha 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 ha. Because laughter is a joy. Laughter is a joy for all goat and fish. Laughter is a joy for all goat and fish. And Goat vs. Fish has no reservation. Goat vs. Fish has no hesitation. Goat vs. Fish has no shame or disgrace by having ha 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 shaved into our face. And the initials will still be preserved, and then when we look in the mirror, it will still remind us that the initials are to be read as AH, which will remind us of you. Every time we look in the mirror, Goat vs. Fish will be thinking of you. I Can Fix Amber Heard. You should save a fish. We should save a fish. We should do a Goat vs. Fish beach cleanup. The Uncle Bo rates Goat vs. Fish with 2. Appreciation, the Uncle Bo. Appreciation. Big Jerry says hello all. Hey, Big Jerry, welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Hey, Big Jerry, are you goat or are you fish? And oh, what's all this? Explosives on Goat vs. Fish? Is that what happens with irradiation? Wow. Innocent goat and fish being bombed from above? That doesn't seem very tasteful right now, actually. Oh, but Goat vs. Fish, we could get another versus. We could try this, Goat vs. Fish. We could try this. We could try this. We could try Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish, the profile view. And maybe Goat vs. Fish, the profile view. That might be a stronger angle for Goat vs. Fish. That might be a stronger angle. That might be a stronger angle for Goat vs. Fish. Sunny will be surprised. Perhaps they will. Perhaps they will. Why did the barber disagree to doing that? You will have to ask the artist. We said, do you do letters? They said no. They said no. But Goat vs. Fish isn't going to trust anyone else with this glorious, glorious head. So now, that barber has been fired, and Goat vs. Fish is the new barber of Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish is the new barber of Goat vs. Fish, which means that in order to honor our contractual obligation, Goat vs. Fish is still the barber of Goat vs. Fish. So now we have this. So now we have the profile of goat versus fish like this. Now we have the profile of goat versus fish. Now we have the profile of goat versus fish. So here we are. So if we want to have ha 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 in goat versus fish, then this versus we'll want H. We'll want H right about here, right about here. Right about here, goat versus fish wants that H, wants that H. So this is the razor of goat versus fish. This is what goat versus fish has chosen to do verses with. We'll use it and we'll scrape about. We'll just be scraping about and shaving about. And we could try electrification. We could try electrification. We could try electrification, but one false verses with electrification and we could lose all the verses. So goat versus fish wants to try slow and steady, slow and steady. Slow and steady just like this. And we are afraid that there's no way around it. You're just going, oh wait, now if goat versus fish does this, now goat versus fish, now we're in our own way and we can't even see goat versus fish. Ah, an interesting verses. An interesting verses. An interesting verses. Birdbrain RCH knows the verses. Goat knows the verses of symmetry. Yes, it does. It does make it a simpler verses for goat versus fish. It does make it a simpler verses for goat versus fish. So let's try this. The symmetry does allow some forgiveness for goat versus fish. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So here, so if we do this, we look at the verses, but then we turn, and we have to do it. Oh, and we have to do it while live streaming. Wow. So we could look at the verses like this. This is difficult for goat versus fish. You missed the part about which letters are being shaped into the hair of goat versus fish. Well, Amber Heard wanted AH for Amber Heard, and we said that we would do these initials. And so we're going to put H on this verses and A on the other verses, which spells ha 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 ha. Well, actually, it just spells ha for the laughter of goat versus fish. But when we look in the mirror and stare at our own reflection, we'll just be reminded of the AH of Amber Heard because of the symmetry of the AH. Ha ha, indeed. Goat versus fish. That's what 100 versus American dollars will get you. So let us see if we start here. Oh, this could get fenced real fast. Ooh, let's try like this. We think that's about that could be about that's very generous verses there. So let's see here, if we goat versus fish like this, we just pull to the side. What does that leave us with? Already we want to know, what does that leave us with? Goat versus fish can scarcely perceive anything. It's slow to grow back. So we can take our time with this. The shaving has begun. Cringing at the thought of razor burn. Indeed. Oh, goat versus fish. All of this content for a mere 100 versus American dollars. We may have to get somewhat more aggressive. Ooh, it's prickly. Feel the verses. All we see is redness and not a lot of progress on Goat vs. Fish. Maybe electrification is the way. Maybe electrification is the way. Not an easy versus. Not an easy versus. The hair of Goat vs. Fish. You may need extra hands. We may need to bring someone else in. That's what you're saying. Maybe Sunshine? Oh, we don't know if Sunshine would agree to that versus. Sunshine might be... That might be above Sunshine's pay grade. You might have to pay Sunshine to trim Goat vs. Fish. How much are you willing to pay Sunshine to be the barber of Goat vs. Fish? Now, that's another question. That's another question. Because Goat vs. Fish wants to honor this versus, but we feel like we could scrape away all day, and all we would be doing is irritating Goat vs. Fish and not making as much progression. It's not as easy to make as much progression as we thought. This is usually a very reliable versus, but it's not quite holding up. We could try a little electrification. But again, then one false versus and you lose the whole versus. All Goat vs. Fish has, we will show you. Goat vs. Fish has this razor of Goat vs. Fish. Goat vs. Fish has this razor of Goat vs. Fish, which was last used to shave the chest hairs of Goat vs. Fish, which was a slightly easier versus. All I got is 50 versus American dollars. I can guarantee to Sunshine, lol, but electric is the way to go. Just need a steady hand. Does everything you own have Goat vs. Fish branded on it? Yes. But Goat vs. Fish doesn't own anything. Everything just is Goat vs. Fish. Does everything you own have a Goat vs. Fish brand on it? Ask someone who is obsessed with getting I Can Fix Amber Heard on the board of Goat vs. Fish and having their initials razored into the head of Goat vs. Fish. Oh, does everything you own have Goat vs. Fish branded on it? Wow, that's revengefulous. My bro had the chest hair of a Goat vs. Fish. Oh, yes, we do. Goat. So Goat vs. Fish. So we could try this. We could attempt it. And see what happens. Let us see. If we do this, we just pull there. We pull there on Goat vs. Fish. Then we go there. We pull there on Goat vs. Fish. And then we try to get between the verses. Do that with Goat vs. Fish. And then we reverse the verses. Like this. And then we'll change the verses around so they're reversed. And then we go Goat vs. Fish, and we go Goat vs. Fish, and we go Goat vs. Fish. We could try this. And Goat vs. Fish owes it to you. Maybe make some paper cutouts and shave the lines. No, that's an interesting versus. That is an interesting versus. Stencil it out first. But that would take more time and effort, and who wants to do that? That sounds like a lot of time and effort to Goat vs. Fish. It's safer. It would be safer if Goat vs. Fish never agreed to do this in the first versus. That would be a lot safer for Goat vs. Fish. But who wants safety? Who wants safety first? You want exciting streams. You want to see it all go wrong. You want to see it all go fence. But there is no right or wrong. There's only goat versus fish. So we think you deserve versus. We think you deserve versus some exciting content where you're like, oh no, goat versus fish, don't do that. Oh no, you'll ruin everything, goat versus fish. Maybe the unpaid intern of the family could serve you. No, we would never trust them. We would never trust them to shave goat versus fish. Never. Never would we. So we'll give it a versus. So does this even verse? Don't get too excited. So let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. We don't even know if it will really versus, but we're going to try it. Goat versus fish will go here, and then we're going to just goat and fish it, just a smidge. Relaxation. A feeling of relaxation. Did that accomplish anything? Let's find out. Celebration! We have achieved verses. We have achieved verses on goat versus fish. Celebration! The first verses has been made. The first verses has been made. The first verses has been made. That's a fair versus. That is a fair versus of goat versus fish. If ever we perceived one, We're getting it done. We're getting it done on goat versus fish. Be brave, be bold. No time for hesitation. It's time for celebration. This is the content of goat versus fish. That's one versus. That's one versus. Be continuation. Continuation. So now, let's try to perceive it. Goat versus fish going now for the continuation. That might be a fair versus. That might be a fair versus right there. That might be a fair versus right about there. Shall we go for it, goat and fish? How does it look? Ones if it looks satisfactory to you, goat and fish. Twos if you say no, you've got to move it. Go, says Bird Brain. You're ready for verses. You're ready. They're ready. They want it. They want it. They want the shaving to happen. They want the shaving to happen right here, right now on Goat versus Fish for your entertainment, Kipo says, oh! Icavix Amberheard says, yeah, go, it should be okay. Weed Pipe says fish. Celebration, how refined. Goat versus Fish is getting more refined with each passing verses. Celebration for the continuation. Meme Load Zero says, I don't know why I am following you, but shit, it happens. I'm about to take a shot and smoke a bowl, just finished a Taco Bell. Well, Meme Load Zero, we don't know why you followed Goat versus Fish either. But we appreciate you being a part of the congregation of Goat versus Fish, and we want to know, are you goat or are you fish? We're shaving letters into our head while you're consuming bread. We hope you find this pleasant. We hope you find this very pleasant, and thank you for joining the congregation of Goat versus Fish. Who knows? We have been here on Twitch for many, many years. You could have followed off of some radiation that you've long since forgotten, but here we are. Here we are with Goat versus Fish. And we're so glad you're back on Goat versus Fish. We're making H. We're making an H. What in the line verses are those letters? That is the beginning of an H. So now we merely need to establish a connection. Now, these verses, we're reversing the verses now. We've been sort of going goat-wise, but now we'll be going fish-wise. So perhaps there will be some kind of unpleasant, unforeseen situation goat versus fish is unaware of. You have to be very careful with this. You have to be very careful with this, but we believe in goat versus fish. Studio art minor of goat versus fish. Studio art minor. This is what it all came down for. 100 versus American dollars for a live streamer. Accidental celebration for goat? No, don't hurt yourself. Oh, no! What if goat versus fish accidentally hurts ourselves? No, we're going to do it. We think we're going... Measure twice, cut once. We think we're going to go through with it. We think we're going to do it. We think we're going to do it. We think we're going to do it. We think this is the verses. We think this is the verses. Ooh, it's almost versible. It's versible enough. We think we can do a little better on goat versus fish. It's versible enough, but we think we can do a little better on goat versus fish. Though it is versible enough. Goat versus fish wants to give you your verses worth. H for fish. H is in fish. It's true. Goat versus fish. Can you write gas in your hair? Well, the price of new letters on goat versus fish has just gone up considerably. So we think if you want more letters on goat versus fish, it will cost you perhaps 500 versus American dollars per letter. 500 versus American dollars per letter. So if you want goat versus fish to shave gas into our head, then that will cost you 1,500 versus American dollars. So we're going to call that an H. We're going to call that an H. We're going to call that an H. We think that's a fair H. There does seem to be some aggravation, some discoloration there on the H, but that is only due to prior shaving attempts. We think that's a fair H. Maybe we can just get a little verses here. Just get a little verses there. Just little verses there. You can't get too aggression with it. You can't get too aggression with it. Otherwise, before you know, it won't resemble an H and all, and it will all be over. Goat versus fish. We're calling that an H. We're calling it an H. Goat and fish. We're calling it an H. We're calling it an H on goat versus fish. You may say it looks like a sideways I. Well, there's many fonts and there's many ways to stylize. That is an H on goat versus fish. We believe that is an H on goat versus fish. Looks like a TIE fighter from Star Wars. Well, it looks like an H if you ask goat versus fish. That's an H. Celebration for H. Birdbrain RCH, you have an H in your name. Does this count as an H? Even I can fix Amber Heard. Cannot deny it's a fair H. Goat versus fish will not boast that it's a good H, but we'll say it's a fair H. It's a fair H. It's a full-on H. Celebration for H. Celebration for H. So now, let's reverse the verses. Oh, that's that H, an H that got stretched up. Well, sometimes the H's get stretched. Sometimes you stretch the homies out. One's in the congregation if you stretch the homies out. Who's out there stretching homies? Stretching with Goat versus Fish. Let's sing a song about H. It's a song about H. The H factor. The H factor. You should be able to see the H now. If we just turn like this. We believe you can see the H. H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H Goat versus Fish. H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H Everybody now! H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H H Celebration for H! Celebration for H! And someone Blurpy received a gifted sub. Well, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Celebration. Well, H is all well in celebration. H is a fine celebration and all, but what about A? What about A? A. Tried H once, it was okay. Well, Goat versus Fish tried H, and it came out okay. We just tried H. So here we are again. Here we are again on the other side of Goat versus Fish. And we say, hey! We say, hey! We say, hey! Hey! Oh! Let's go! We're versing all the goats now. We're versing all the fish now. We're versing all the goat now. Goat versus fish. Oh, hey, John SV4JB redacted a message. Welcome back. Welcome back. So great to have you. I wasn't there this morning. Well, you're here now. You weren't there? You weren't there this morning? Where could you possibly have been? Where could you have been? You stayed up all night doing taxes. Left side A, right side H. Aha, ha 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 ha. Indeed, we laugh, we laugh. We laugh at the schemes of the fence sitter. We laugh. So now we have to reverse the verses. H in this verses, H will be for the fish, because you can't spell fish without H, and you can't spell goat without A. So once again, ha ha ha. You try to fence up goat versus fish. We actually get goat versus fish. We get goat versus fish again. It's goat versus fish. Is this prep or Afro Man versus? No, this is a promise that Goat versus Fish made to I Can Fix Amber Heard, who is the haircut sponsor of Goat versus Fish. This glorious haircut and beard trim was sponsored by congregation member I Can Fix Amber Heard. This very, very visage of Goat versus Fish, all the glorious hairs you see trimmed, this is all thanks to I Can Fix Amber Heard, who sponsored this haircut and beard trim of Goat versus Fish. Enjoy the luxurious verses. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So is this prep for the Afro Man versus? We suppose it is. We suppose it is. We suppose it is. Of course, Goat versus Fish. If anyone wants to tip the barber, who is Goat versus Fish, always tip your barber. If you want to tip the one who's taking care of the head of Goat versus Fish, exclamation tip to tip the barber, Goat versus Fish. The link is pinned to the Twitch congregation. Levy Lock. It looks very Amber Heard-ish. Well, you could say that. So now we have to reverse the verses. So this is a whole other. We suppose we could trust Goat versus Fish to reverse. So we will want to do a verses like this. A. And then we'll have to do the verses like, maybe like this. Oh, no. Oh, no. Perhaps like this. A. And then, aha. And then A. That's the verses. A. And then we'll have to sort of come at it. A indeed. So we think we want to make our first verses out here. First verses out here. First verses out here. Leaning ever so sidily. Leaning ever so sidily for A. So what happens if we do this verses and we don't move it at all? Do we still get a celebration? Let's find out. We don't get much. We don't get much if we don't move it at all. We have to take some risk. You have to take some chances on Goat versus Fish. You have to take some chances. You're back. Glad you didn't miss too much. What we sang about H, which we think even Bird Brain can appreciation. I like H. I have H in a chicken head. Let's versus this again. Let's verse it again. We verse it again. Look into the ears of Goat versus Fish. Look into the eyes of Goat versus Fish. Hear into the ears of Goat versus Fish. Behold the unseen sunspots of Goat versus Fish. This verses is, oh no. Oh, we don't know about that. We don't know about that. This A is proving to be more difficult than H. Why you gotta be like that? Why you gotta be like that? Ah! 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 Could this be that the fish won if the A is not shave able? Goat versus fish. You can save it, says Weed Pipe. We could save it. We could save it indeed. Let's try this. Let's try this. Still kind of fence. Still kind of fence. Still kind of... wait a versus. Wait a versus. Wait a versus. Wait a versus now. There's another way to make an A. There's another way to make an A. And that is we make an H and we just top it off. The old topped off H versus. Not the pointily type A, but the old topped off A type versus. There are many ways to A, eh? We know we can H. We know upside down V, you say? Five-ish. Gonna be a fat A. Well, I can fix Amber Heard. You've been sitting on that fence so long, you've probably got a fat A. Probably got a big fat A from sitting on that fence. This feels like it could be. This feels like it could be. This could be the one. Ooh, that's almost versible. That's almost versible. That's almost versible there. That's almost versible there. That's almost versible for A. It's almost versible for A. Can we grant an extension? Fair versus, fair versus. We wonder where we're going to get all the length that we need, but it's a fair versus. We believe in you, Goat versus Fish, said the congregation. Why, thank you, said Goat versus Fish. We believe in you, too. How did Goat win the verses this morning? Goat didn't win the verses. Fish won the verses. Fish won the verses. That might be a fair way to begin. That might be a fair way to begin. Perhaps we could. Yes, Goat versus Fish. We're pondering it. We're pondering it. We're pondering it. You're still on a stream tomorrow? Bird Brain is on a stream tomorrow? Perhaps so. I see you ate one before, and Ham Mods. They're getting together. They're long lost. Can the goats shave in cursive? We're sure some goats can. So what if Goat versus Fish goes up from here? It's starting to take verses. It's starting to take verses now. It's starting to take verses now. It's starting to take verses. But we need connection. We need connection. We need connection. We need connection. We have something. We were just about to speak into the verses like this. We have something resembling a connection now. We have something resembling a connection. Perhaps we can tidy it up. Perhaps we can tidy it up. We're doing A. Yes. So now here we are. And we think perhaps a little tidy will do. Ooh. Oh, yes. Just a little tidying by Goat vs. Fish, just tidying up the verses. Should write fish. Well, this A is for goat, actually. The A is for goat. Well, it's almost an A. It's almost an A if... There are ways it could be A. If you make A bold enough, and with a strong enough outline, then the gap will collapse. Goat versus Fish could prove it to you. Wait a verses. Wait, just a verses. Wait just a verses. You see that hair? You see that hair in the middle there? You see that hair in the middle there? You see that hair in the middle there? Perhaps that hair is the gap between the A. Maybe that little hair is actually the negative space within the A. In which verses we already have it. In which verses we already have it. Keep can see it. You can see it. Lucid Nap says, looks like a fine and handsome A to me. Lucid Nap says it looks like an A. Lucid Nap says it's A enough. Birdbrain RCH says, Star Trek Communicator A. Now that's an interesting verses. It's a chevron, says Zeta Physician. The only other verses we could do is we could attempt to trim. You could try to trim a verses like this. But even if we fill it all in, even if we were to fill it all in, then it would be sort of like an angine de poitrine A. So is it A? Is it A? Goat and Fish. Is it A? I can fix Amber Heard. Is it A? The congregation is starting to feel like it's A. But what do you say? We wonder. We wonder what you say. We wonder what you say today. You're trying to get some elongation over here on this verses. Looks like the boomerang logo. The effort behind it, it's an A. Celebration, it's an A for effort. Goat and Fish. Goat versus Fish gets an A for effort. Goat versus Fish gets an A for effort. Celebration. For once in the history of Goat versus Fish, Goat versus Fish gets the A for effort, and it actually counts. Celebration. Celebration. Goat versus Fish gets an A for effort. Goat versus Fish gets an A for effort. 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 Goat versus fish. A for effort. I don't know if I've ever seen you without your mighty crown. The crown does not make the verses. The crown does not make the verses. The verses come from within you, as has always been said. Time for a song about A's. Some may say, what song could Goat vs. Fish possibly do in commemoration of A and an A for effort? What would be the perfect song to commemoration an A for effort? What could it possibly be? Well, Goat vs. Fish is already 20 million steps ahead of thee. We already know the perfect song about A for effort, but we should show you the A as we do it. So we'll do it like this. Try it like this. We'll try it like this. Try it like this. I'll try it like this. Try it like this. Chester Copperbot going for fish. Oh, we're not charging by the word, we're charging by the letter. I can fix Amber Heard. Don't be refenculous. By the character. Well, we'll just have to see. For now, we're going to enjoy the current celebration we have. Enjoy the celebration now, I can fix Amber Heard. You're already thinking about the next verses. A for effort. Oh, I don't know much about history. Don't know much ichthyology. Don't know much about a verses book. Don't know much about the chèvre contre la poisson I took. But I do know that I verse you. And I know that if you verse me too, oh, what a wonderful verse this could be. Don't know much about goatography. Don't know much of fissionometry. Don't know much about GVF. Don't know much about sitting on the fence. But I do know goat and fish are verse. And I know that if you verse me too, oh, what a wonderful verse this would be. Now, I don't claim to be an A student, but I'm trying to be. And maybe if you give me an A for effort, baby, I could win your verses for me. I don't know much about history. Don't know much biology. Don't know much about a science book. Don't know much about chèvre contre la poisson I took. But I do know that I verse you. And I know that if you verse me too, what a wonderful unification. What a wonderful celebration. Now I don't claim to be an A student, but I'm trying to be. Maybe by being an A student, baby, I could win your love for me. History, biology, science book, French I took. Celebration for A, celebration for A. But if you want a song about A, it might go like this. A. A, 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 A lot of verses have A. A lot of verses have A. A lot of verses have A. I'm trying to form a straight line, going for a tight wind, shaving that in my head. Goat versus fish. They're piling up all the hairs. Will I fence up? I'm scared. I should have been more prepared. Goat versus fish. Goat, fish, let's verse. Let's get a shave in. What they want, I don't know. I don't even know if they're fish or a goat. We're trying to form a straight line. I'm tired of shaving all the time. Trying to form that straight line. Goat versus fish. They're all watching the stream. It's starting to get a bit extreme. My head is gonna need a steam. Goat versus fish. Hey, oh, a fish, goat. A goat or fish now. What they want, I don't know. I can't even tell if they're fish or a goat. See ya, bird brain. What happened? It got a bit too punk for you? Celebration for bird brain. Perhaps not punk enough. Shavings in the side of the head. Shavings in the side of the head. Goat versus fish. Goat fish. Goat versus fish. And so then there was this. Then there was this. Time to turn on a little musication. The Uncle Bo is bombing everyone. So there we have it. There we have it. Let's see if we can find this. Let's see if we can find this. Hogrim with a subscription to Goat vs. Fish Appreciation Celebration. But what's this? What's this suddenly appearing behind Goat vs. Fish? Offense! 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 Fences! 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 Fences upon Goat vs. Fish! Now, whenever Goat vs. Fish stares into our own head, we'll be reminded of the fence sitter, I Can Fix Amber Heard, who threatens to control Goat vs. Fish, who threatens to lock Goat and Fish inside a cage of forced unification. All in the name of celebration, all in the name of the unification congregation. Now! Ha ha ha! Laughed Goat vs. Fish by reversing the letters of Amber Heard to ha ha ha. But I Can Fix Amber Heard can fix this. Because just as Goat vs. Fish laughs at you, I Can Fix Amber Heard, the fence sitter laughed at Goat vs. Fish, Ha ha ha! Because it is in your reflection, Goat vs. Fish, that you will always see the fence sitter. The fence sitter mocked Goat vs. Fish. The fence sitter shaved their initials into the head of Goat vs. Fish. Oh, woe is Goat vs. Fish, to always stare upon these letters, who once were the letters of fish and of goat respectively, but have now turned into a fancy mockery of Goat vs. Fish. Woe is to Goat vs. Fish! Woe is to Goat vs. Fish! The fence has been etched into the head of Goat vs. Fish! Oh, well. Guess we'll just have to keep going on. Guess we'll just have to continue somehow. Guess we'll just have to continue on with Goat vs. Fish somehow. Oh, my verses. What's a Goat vs. Fish to do? What is Goat vs. Fish to do? Well, we guess we'll just have to wait for it to grow back. We guess we'll just have to wait for it to grow back. What do you think? What do you think of it? You look stylish to you? How does it look? Does it look I Can Fix Amber Heard? Does it look nice? We think it does. We think it looks pretty great. We think it looks just fine. Because after all, Goat vs. Fish comes from within you. It's not the crown that makes Goat vs. Fish. It's not the crown that makes Goat vs. Fish, no. It's not the crown. It's you. It's you, the congregation. It's you, the congregation. Ha ha ha, indeed. Oh no, it was no obligation. It was no obligation. I Can Fix Amber Heard. It was no obligation. It was no obligation whatsoever. The pleasure is Goat vs. Fish. The pleasure is Goat vs. Fish. The pleasure is Goat vs. Fish. So now here we are. We have completed the shaving. We have completed the shaving on Goat vs. Fish. And now we're live again. We could use a bit of the rest of Goat vs. Fish. After all, Goat vs. Fish is going to see Afro Man. And we could use the rest of Goat vs. Fish. It looks great. Oh, doesn't it? Doesn't it, Lysergic Freak Fish? Doesn't it look great? We think so. We think so. Greetings from our AZ city, Zaza. You're welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Zaza, your greetings from Arid Zona. Hi, and welcome to Goat vs. Fish. Hi, and welcome to Goat vs. Fish. My star sign is Pisces. Does that make me a closet fish? Do you live in a closet? Do you live in a closet? Because if you do, you might be a closet fish. You are team fish. Well, celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Celebration for fish. Goat versus Fish. We feel as though we want to go. We feel as though we want to continue here. Continuation with Goat versus Fish. Continuation with Goat versus Fish. We really do, but we need the rest of Goat versus Fish. We need the rest of Goat versus Fish. But by the honor of Goat versus Fish, we wanted to give you this head shaving stream. And appreciation for I Can Fix Amber Heard for sponsoring the haircut and beard trim of Goat versus Fish. This glorious beard. Enjoy it. Thank you for the head. Thank you for the head. Thank you for the head. So we think that's the verses. That's the verses. Once again, appreciation. Once appreciation. Once appreciation again, too. Our glorious patrons of Goat versus Fish. Our glorious patrons of Goat versus Fish. The humble congregation. The humble congregation. Bed Bird Person, the Quaxinator, Jimmy Wrench, Mama Joe, Vrama Joe, Standard Average, Tugger Rugger, Hogrim, Elder Grown, Uber Kitten, Padistador, Eventually Gold, Prism Bloom, Psychic Buckeye 12, and Drew, the Elite Humble Congregation, Lord Saturn, Karmic, Brew Lawrence, Atrolite, Sourdough, Watt 9807, That One Bolt Guy, Napoleon Doom, and the Unification Congregation of I Can Fix Amber Heard. Tried to get Afro Man on the motivation. He seems busy but available. Perhaps not. Perhaps in another 5 years. Let's see if Afro Man would be available to come on the morning motivation of Goat versus Fish. Let's just take a peek. Let's just take a peek at what Afro Man is doing, and see if they would be available to join Goat versus Fish on the morning motivation. Let's just have a look at just some random verses. Just some random verses of what Afro Man might be up to. Now, let's just have a look. Let's just have a look. Let's just see what Afro Man might be doing now. And if we think they would have time for Goat versus Fish morning motivation. Of course, it would be an epic, life-changing experience which they would never forget. This song is currently unavailable. Oh, my verses. Maybe Afro Man would like to come on the morning motivational of Goat vs. Fish. Because here we are trying to play the song of Afro Man here on Goat vs. Fish. Afro Man, look, going out into a sea of millions of goat and fish to perform their song. And yet we try to play it and it's not playing. It's not playing. Oh, there we are. Okay, so the song is currently unavailable. But here they are. We can do the song for you.
Oh, I was gonna choose a goat, but I'm on the fence. I'm gonna win and I was gonna gloat, but I'm on the fence. I'm chewing on a tin can and I know whence. Getting high on the fence, getting high on the fence, getting high on the fence. Are you goat or fish? Now I was gonna choose a fish, but I'm on the fence. Was gonna splash and I was gonna splish, but I'm on the fence. And now I'm in a tin can and I know whence. Getting high on the fence, getting high on the fence, getting high on the fence. Are you goat or fish?
Now, so it looks like Afro Man might be in the middle of a conversation right now. So we think that we're not sure that we could get them on the morning motivation of Goat vs. Fish, but it's an aspiration. Certainly with more support from Goat and Fish like you, the more viewers Goat vs. Fish has, the more support Goat vs. Fish has from Goat vs. Fish viewers like you, the bigger and better the studio can become of Goat vs. Fish, and the bigger and better the guests can become on Goat vs. Fish. But don't forget our tomorrow's guest, Michelle Malizaki, returns to Goat vs. Fish. But if you really want to get Afro Man to go on Goat vs. Fish, then what you all do is you all email Afro Man and leave comments and say, hey, Afro Man, have you heard of Goat vs. Fish? Hey, Afro Man, check out Goat vs. Fish. The congregation, you must understand that the power of Goat vs. Fish comes from within you. The power of Goat vs. Fish comes from within you. If there is something you want for Goat vs. Fish, if there's something you desire for Goat vs. Fish, then you can say, hey, Goat vs. Fish, do this. Hey, Goat vs. Fish, do that. But if you really desire it for Goat vs. Fish, then it is you, the congregation, that must make it happen. It is you, the congregation, that must make it happen. Because when others observe Goat vs. Fish, and they wonder, is it worth my verses for Goat vs. Fish? Because they do not understand yet the power of Goat vs. Fish. Afro Man, of course, would have a life-changing, glorious, beautiful experience like they've never had before on Goat vs. Fish. But first, they will look to the congregation of Goat vs. Fish, and they will say, is it worth my verses? Is it worth my precious verses to go on the Goat vs. Fish living streams? Well, the more viewers we have and the more support we have from the congregation, the more enticed they will be. So you may ask Goat vs. Fish to ask Afro Man. Goat vs. Fish asks you to ask Afro Man. Hey, Afro Man, I'm your biggest fan. Please go on the Goat vs. Fish show. Hey, Afro Man, I'm your biggest fan. We want to see you on Goat vs. Fish. That's the verses. You want to know how the universe of Goat vs. Fish verses? That's the verses. That's the verses. You tried to put it on Goat vs. Fish, but it is up to you. It is up to you. It's true. YouTube live support. We think we've heard that one before. We think we've heard that one before, YouTube live support. Your live stream has broken community guidelines and is under investigation. We're really doing it red ban? Red ban like from Kill Tony? Like from Kill Tony? Like red band from Kill Tony? Is here on Goat vs. Fish? Celebration, celebration for gaming uncontrollably who follows Goat vs. Fish. Celebration, celebration! Celebration! Celebration, gaming uncontrollably. Are you goat or are you fish? And YouTube live support. Are you goat or fish? Are you goat or fish? It's me, Tony Hinchcliffe. We knew it. We knew it was Tony all the verses. We thought it was Kill Tony. We thought it was Kill Tony. We just had a feeling. We just had a feeling that it was Kill Tony.
I was trying to shake my phone to make it go faster.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Brian Redband really taking control tonight. Lots of jokes being fired off one after the other very, very quickly. Goat versus fish. What the fuck was that?
Did you?
That was goat versus fish. That was goat versus fish.
Did you take Margot?
It was goat versus fish. After all these verses, Tony Hinchcliffe comes crawling back to goat versus fish. Typical verses. Can't get enough goat versus fish. Just can't get enough goat versus fish. Price Douglas Stevens is catfish. YouTube live support says goat versus fish. Celebration for YouTube live support. Goat versus fish appreciates your support. YouTube live support. Thanks for your support of goat versus fish. Oh, by the verses, YouTube live support. Just so you know, now that you're here and we can speak to you now because we just need so much live support from Goat versus Fish. We just want you to know that Goat versus Fish currently has 2,692 out of 3,000 watch hours over the last 365 days. Soon we will have monetization, and then we're going to get some real support around here. Probably not, but a versus can dream, can't they? A versus can dream, can't they? 2,692. We're about to be making 15 cents a week off of Goat versus Fish live streams with monetization. Oh, celebration. Oh, celebration. Oh, wait, we don't get paid for ads until we have 4,000 hours a week on Goat versus Fish? Oh. Okay. But that's okay. We're about to get basic monetization on Goat versus Fish. We're about to do it. We're about to do it. But we must prepare for Afro Man. We must prepare for Afro Man. Goat versus Fish and Sunshine are going to Afro Man, and we need the rest of Goat versus Fish. I'm helping, says the Uncle Bo. Thank you for helping Goat versus Fish. Thank you for helping Goat versus Fish. So we shall see you out there in the universe. Farewell, YouTubers. Farewell from Goat versus Fish. This has been a shaving in the head stream of Goat versus Fish. Red Band approves this message. Thanks. Always thank